We're rolling, and we got no time to waste today. I don't think.
We're on a time schedule?
Well, no, I just think
We're on a
normally we
budget?
don't want a 3-hour podcast, and I feel like I have a lot to say about these things, and I know
Wow.
you have a lot to say about these things.
What are you talking about?
And Lee
I have a medium.
always has things to say.
About 20 minutes in,
Hey,
I'll
let's
start
be
getting
fair.
fresh thoughts.
Yes, he's a little slower.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
ramp
say he
up
has a
slow.
lot to say. I would say he takes a lot to say what he has to say. Just kidding.
I like it. No, I take
it's
that as a
good.
compliment.
You do.
It is a compliment.
You
You
now,
really-
if you're listening, this doesn't make any sense.
No, most people are all about consolidating, but you take the time.
Yeah. I like to
String it
explore the
out.
space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even
explore
how
the
you
space.
answer questions, like I was.
There's
I
a
was
lead
listening
up.
to you.
There's always a prep.
There's like
Yeah.
a prep
There's
for
a
the
pre-prep
answer,
and then a prep and
Yeah.
then the thing.
which is nice because sometimes that frustrates me. But I know that that's what you do, so I just sit and wait. Versus if I'm expecting it the other way, then I'm like, "What's happening?" But I go, "This is the prep," and then I'm waiting.
Now we're learning. Hey, this is a great little segue.
Oh.
Tie
my
in, if
Oh,
you
we're
will.
so good at this. This is why we can't plan segues because
Thank
we're
you,
just
Holy Spirit.
No.
So we're talking a little bit about today. We didn't actually name this one. Hopefully a name comes as we go.
Yep.
But we're looking at the different aspects of how people are made up, the parts, the pieces, we were just talking about how you're different.
the
from
how to our why.
the how. How are you going to, we talked a lot about why.
We did. We talked about Amy's why. We talked about other people's whys.
Why is important. And now we want to talk a little bit about like, how do you accomplish your why? And we've been exploring, what are you going to call these? Not differences. I was going to say, wow, giftings. And it came out differences. They are differences.
They are different giftings.
Yes, different giftings or
There's more than one.
tools on how you're wired or
Yeah. It's not. Who asked us if it was a horoscope? And we were like, yeah, but better and different in every
Yeah,
way.
Not really.
No. It was someone asked me about the Enneagram.
Oh,
And they're like, it's just kind of like a horoscope, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
it's like that, except it's nothing like that in any way. And so I would just get my analogy I'm drawing to that is in some ways it could be considered like a personality test, but in many ways it is different.
Yeah. So the two that we're going to focus on today, number one is called Working Genius. Yeah, we love that.
Patrick
Big fan.
Lynchoni.
That's what you do in your.
When you're a big fan of the art world. Yes.
Hey, that's
well, I think
jazz
it's-
hands.
Well, I think it's what instead because you're on.
You can't clap. Or the
clap.
snaps.
It's awkward. Yes, snaps.
Silent snaps.
Yeah.
Zoom hands. If you see people doing this, they're applauding you. But
Is that what that's called?
I don't. I just made it up.
Okay.
But if you're celebrating something on Zoom, that's just shake the hands and then they can see you.
That's fair.
Clapping won't work. You're muted.
They can see that you're clapping, though.
Not if you clap low.
Oh, well. Better clap high.
We digress.
We
Yeah,
really do.
moving on.
The second one we're going to focus on is called the APEST or the fivefold ministry. So these are two different kind of, I guess, tests you can take. We can call them
Not
tests.
personality tests, but like personality tests.
Or I don't know if you don't like tests. Another word could be assessment.
assessments, like a quiz, like a BuzzFeed quiz.
I don't know much about that.
Oh man, they were so big for a while where you would be like, figure out what color leather bag you are this season, and then you would answer a bunch of questions that have nothing to do with anything, and they'd be like, you're a purple one, and then you'd be really excited
you're a purple
about it.
handbag.
Yeah, and it was like
Wow.
there was hundreds of them.
Okay.
So you take all these quizzes. Which character from 90210 are you?
Wow. Okay.
And then you'd answer questions. You go, I don't know how at all you're going to deduce that based off of which of these cups of coffee look the most appealing to me, but I will answer.
Okay.
So that's a BuzzFeed quiz.
Excellent. I was trying to remember some of the character names of 90210 and I couldn't.
Couldn't name.
Dylan. That's all I could come up
I've
with.
never seen it. Couldn't name
Oh,
one.
just pass your time.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there's the girl with the blonde hair.
Jenny.
I know the actress who plays in it, the blonde one. It's not Pale.
Tori. Look, they're coming back.
Holy cow. We digress again.
It's okay.
2 times
Hey,
within.
this is for all those, my age people that watch that show. They'll be like, how do you forget, like, the main character? How do you, Brandon, Fraser? Is that his name?
I've never seen it. I can't help
Okay,
you.
it doesn't matter. Play along at home if you'd like to. You can put down in the comments.
Yeah, in the comments,
Test.
write
The
which
names,
90210 character you are.
Test.
That's
We
right.
went from test to 90210.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah. But
assessments,
we'll circle back.
assessments. Yes.
It's a test. It's a quiz.
Okay, which one do we want to start with?
Well, you said that we were going to start with Working Genius just 10 seconds ago.
Okay,
So then that's the one.
we're going to start with.
Yeah. you want to set the table for what it is?
Patrick.
So good. Inside
Lincioni?
joke. The table group.
Table group is his group. It is Patrick Lincioni.
Patrick Lincioni from the Table Group. He author.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of work, I think, with organizations to help them in this. And how did I don't remember how this came on my radar.
Was it Brennan being excited about it?
I can't remember.
Yeah,
Sometimes?
I think it was. It
Yeah.
was.
Paige talked about it, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some of my Young Life coworkers that we work with and do stuff with really like this guy.
Yeah. So if I highly actually recommend, if this sounds interesting to you, to go and like find the book and listen to the book. It's really fun because
It's a story.
it's a story. So he has another book called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team.
Mm-hmm.
Also a story. Like I think most of his books he's
I think
written,
that's how they structure.
he does it through a fable.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll put a story forward and then play out through the characters kind of how the whole thing comes together. So it's actually a really fun way to learn because you listen to the
so
story
good.
and then on the second part of the book or the back half of the book, it breaks down the different areas.
Mm-hmm.
So Working Genius is the one that we're talking about. And it's basically, I mean, to sum up simply, there's 6 phases that any project that you're working on need to go through to be accomplished. So from start to finish, whether you're, I don't know, pick any project in the world, running a fashion
Literally
show,
anything.
working at your work, or planning a trip, a family vacation.
Yeah.
We have to go from the beginning, which is conception, like coming up with the idea, working it all the way across to the end.
We actually do the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 6 phases, and you do this whether you know it or not. So it'd be smart to figure out what those were and how to streamline them, because you could bounce back and forth and do it
You can
less
do it
than efficiently.
You can do it bad if you want.
yeah.
to do it bad.
And you might be, or
And
you might naturally already be really good at this.
Yeah, that's true.
So the premise is, before we go into each kind of the phases, is that each of us as humans have 2 of these areas that we tend to be like a working genius in, or they bring life to us.
Yes,
We're good at them.
We're good at them. We're good at them, and we like doing them.
Right. And so they're going to give you energy when you operate in those 2 areas. And then there's going to be 2 areas that actually frustrate you. So they're going to drain life from you while you're doing these things. And then there's 2 in the middle that you're competent at, meaning you can do them. You can even be pretty good at them. But if that was the only thing you did, you would probably feel pretty drained after.
If your whole job is your working competency, is what they call it,
Yes.
you will find very little fulfillment in it. You can do it, but you don't like it.
So all of this, we kind of came to this because last week we alluded a little bit to working in teams, like people coming together and actually working.
We talk about it
together.
actually all the time,
We do. Yes.
not just last week.
Yeah. So this is part of that. It's actually a really neat tool to kind of figure out, hey, as a team, where are your strengths? Where are your weaknesses? How can we work together? And how can we put you in a place where you're going to work your strengths?
Yeah.
And how can we find the people that, you know, can fit into the places that maybe are your weaknesses? And it's so neat because you got to think about how God does these things, how he fits all these pieces together so that the team can thrive. Right. And within that team, the individuals thrive because they're doing these things that bring them life.
Yeah.
Which to me, I think we have this thing, or just, it kind of amazes you when something is your frustration
And someone else is good at
and
it.
it's someone else's genius and they actually like it. And you look at them and you're like, I don't understand. Like,
Totally.
Like it's phenomenal to me. I'm like, you actually like that? Like that would drain the life out of me.
I think it used to frustrate me because I would assume that, which is so funny. I would be like, well, if I don't like it, it's just bad. It's unnecessary. We don't need it. If I don't like it, I'm not good at it. It's dumb. And then you learn through these things that you're like, this is a necessary step if you're going to do things well.
Right.
And then it so quickly changed my mindset of being so grateful for those people and being like, I actually don't need to understand why or how you're good at that. It drives me crazy, but I'm so grateful you do it so that I don't have to.
If you look back at it, do you think you actually thought it was dumb, or just because you were bad at it, it was easier to label it as that's not important?
100%. That's what it was. It's like what is it? Speaking of another assessment, the Stephen Covey, he has that like win-win or lose. I am subject to lose-lose. If I think something is dumb or I can't do it, I want everyone else to think that too. If I'm going down, you're going down with me.
If I can't win, everyone will lose.
Yeah. Sometimes that will come out in me. So that's probably where I would see that as I go. because I feel like I'm pretty capable. I'm fairly well-rounded. I'm still going to have deficits, but because of those things and having a lack of knowledge or language in this area, I would just be like, well, if I'm functioning okay and I'm getting the job done, clearly it's not needed. But then you learn pretty quickly. Not true. And it's been a really awesome tool, both to have interpersonally and then also professionally. I don't think there's an area in your life where you're not going to use it, honestly.
Right. Why do you think it's valuable?
The working genius.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Well, I truly think it's God inspired.
Yeah.
You know, like there's things out there that people come up with, and I think he might even talk about that in his book. I don't know, but I get the sense of like this is like Holy Spirit inspired, like how he came up with this and just how it all came together. So I think there's like a level of spiritual favor upon it. Because I mean it would be goofy to think like let's back it up. Here we are. We're people, but we don't live in a vacuum. None of us live on an island by ourselves, right? And there's nothing in the Bible that points to we're just designed and created to operate in vacuums. Like everything points to we're created to work together in community. And then the Bible even makes multiple references of like we're different and we should honor each other. So the different parts of the body, we all have different gifts. So it's like everything alludes to like what this thing is pointing at. Like, well, if that's the case, if here we are and we don't operate in vacuums, we're created to operate in community, whether that's at work, family, church, you name it, sports team, just keep going, then it would be beneficial to have some kind of tool or test or whatever, assessment that would help people discover like their God-given talents and abilities, right? Because I don't think anyone would agree that if they owned a company, they wouldn't want all the departments to be dysfunctional or just people operating in the wrong. So like imagine like, oh yeah, 97% of your workforce doesn't enjoy what they're doing. Like, I think you'd be like, whoa, that's kind of bad, So if there was a thing that could put people in the right position to where when they were doing what they were supposed to be doing each and every day or called to do each and every day, it was bringing life and it was bringing joy. And they were so excited about it. They were coming up with, new ideas, new ways to do things. They were just ownership of it because they feel like I love this thing. I enjoy doing this. So I think the working genius is that. I think it's a tool that helps put the right people in the right spot. And
it's funny that your description of people being in the right places is them coming up with new and creative ideas. That'll be funny in about 30 minutes after we've explained this
Yeah. I thought it as I was saying. I'm like, yeah, there's probably some people.
I'm like, please don't make me do that.
Yeah.
No. But I think it's cool because you guys have even taken couples through this just within the context of their relationship of being like, okay, this is how you work and this is how you work. And guess what? They're different. And this is how this could show up. And it seems like they found that super valuable and you really love doing it.
It can be a huge game changer, right?
Yeah.
When you begin to realize that, hey, we are wired differently, therefore we approach things differently. Therefore, it's not that you're against me or that we're not fighting. It's like, oh, we just get to these places differently or we operate differently or we're in the different part of this process. And that's massive because all of a sudden you're like, oh, you're just not like me. So when you don't act the way I think you should act, because that's how I would act, it's not an attack on me. It's just the fact that you're different. Yeah. And it's so funny how much we forget that. Like everybody would say, of course, we're different. Like me and my spouse are different. Like, but can we narrow in on how?
Yeah.
And what that difference looks like and how then it would cause you to behave when you're in conflict or when you're in situations.
Yeah.
So then you can look at that and go, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense now.
What makes me laugh is, I don't know if absurdity is the right word, but how so many other things in life, like, okay, so some of the first that come to the top of my mind, sports teams, like sports teams, everybody knows what the goal of
Their position.
the sports team is to like be amazing, be the best sports team. And we're all cheering. Like recently, the Toronto Blue Jays were in the World Series, and boy, the number of baseball fans in Canada like seemed to rise exponentially. But like,
They've only been fans for 9 days, but
Yes.
they were in it.
But I think most people understand the premise of a sports team, right?
Yeah.
And to accomplish this one thing and be really good. And I think most people would also understand what makes a good team. Oh, well-rounded, right people in the right positions. Those people know their position.
Well, and there's no expectation upon that position to do something else well,
Yes.
right? Like if you're the pitcher, I don't expect you to be really good at
In the outfield.
Yeah, like
living
doing
your life.
something else, because that's not your job.
Yeah.
That's not what you're meant to do,
yeah.
right? But I think when it comes to relationships, we expect people to be good at everything. Right? And that's just not
Or
the
just
nature.
good at the same things we are.
Yeah.
Not even everything. They can be bad at the things I'm bad at, but
Right.
if I'm good at it, you better be.
Or one glaringly obvious to me sports example would be, for a football team, they don't put the kicker out on the defensive line
Right.
to get just creamed by the or whatever the opposing team, right? It's like
And they
that's
get-
their kicker. They need to protect them because they have one job to do:
Right.
kick the ball and get it in the uprights.
And then get upset at them when they didn't do the other job well.
Yeah. And so in
Be
a
like, "Why couldn't you
marriage, like as Amy was talking about that, it's like it goes, I think a healthy viewpoint of a marriage is like whenever conflict or anything comes up, it's like we're a team. We're a team of two. And so we're not opponents boxing one another, but we're a team of two coming together to tackle an issue, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, who's the kicker? Who's the quarterback? Who's, like your skill sets, while different, are getting matched together to better tackle the issue at hand. And then like add more people, and now you have like a team of people accomplishing a goal. And so now you have that many more differences that together make a much more formidable opponent to whatever's opposing.
I think we call it the dream team.
There you go.
Well, at any dream team, you're going to look and assess, and you're going to go, hey, we have a hole here.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're going to go, why did we lose that game? Oh, okay. And if we continue to lose in that way, you're going to then see the pattern and go, hey, there's actually a gap. Like we have a hole here. We need someone better in this position, or we need to pay some attention to this. And so that's actually the beauty of this assessment is as we look through these 6 areas, you might, if it's in your marriage or on a team or wherever you are working this, you might actually discover, hey, we have a hole,
Yeah.
right? And okay, what are we going to do about that?
Totally.
Right? Like you can't just be like, well, I guess we just have a
We'll
hole.
just skip this step.
Yeah.
You're like,
It's like, no, life goes on and you still need to assess that.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that as we get into it because that's a real thing.
Yeah, totally. I think hopefully we've hooked them. I feel like we've done a really good job setting up why we think this is important. And we could probably give some context for how this actually works. So there's the 6 steps, but they actually show up in kind of 3 phases. There's a beginning phase, the middle phase, and then the ending phase.
Yep.
And so in each of those has 2, and they kind of work together in maybe a more unique way or a specific way to get the job done. So it spells out the acronym WIDGET.
Yes.
Which is really fun when you put them as like little cogwheels to fit together. It's really nice. I don't know if he meant to do that. Imagine like trying to find the word because you're like, in order for it to spell widget, it has to start with a G. So let's find a word for this, people.
Yes.
But he
And
did a good job.
before we dive into that, I just want to put the plug in for anybody listening or watching. If you believe it's beneficial for people to discover like their God-given talents and gifts, and then you know that like, hey, it probably would be beneficial to create some kind of system or assessment. So if you believe those things, then start thinking like, what would you create or how you would create it? And then like, so think about that. Like, what would you create? How you would create it? And then look at what Patrick and his team created. And then hopefully that brings light of like how profound this is. Like, wow, like this is pretty amazing. Like creating something like, oh, that's just, you just create something over. No, like there's a lot of tools and a lot of things out there. But this is like even down to the widgets and
Can
the
you tell
gears.
we're a fan?
Yeah.
We're really big fans of
We
this.
think it's
Yeah.
brilliant. Okay.
You do it, take your team through it. So the first one is wonder. Who's a wanderer?
I
Oh,
am.
we both
Well,
are.
Oh,
that's-
you both. Okay, you guys,
Okay.
you talk about it. What is a wanderer?
So, just as you had said, like the 3 phases,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of interesting because everything that you have to start with has to start with like wondering about it. So it's almost like I've heard him talk about like to go through the process. It's almost like a plane starting up in the sky, and then it works its way down to the on the ground and lands. And that's how we start project from start to end. So the wanderer just starts to question.
High in the sky.
Yeah,
they're
they're
at
just-
36,000 feet in the clouds.
They're up there, man, in the clouds, just wondering about things, like looking at things, seeing things, and wondering how does that work, or could that maybe be better, or
Why do we do
wonder-
that?
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
why that is the way it is. Like you're gonna wonder based on kind of the things that you're passionate about or whatever. But wanderers are actually just really happy to think and to wonder and to ponder. Like they don't actually need to, if you're purely just a wanderer, you'd actually don't need to take any action on it. You might not even need to solve it. You find fulfillment in looking around at the world and like just wondering. Like
Yeah, and you're
it's-
not even necessarily coming up with concrete implementation steps or anything like that.
You're actually not. It's not
Yep,
at all
you're
in
just,
any way.
You're just
Yeah.
thinking.
Well, you would be this more because so the second one is invention. And so that's where we take like the wanderer. Oftentimes the wanderer can kind of expose a problem.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this isn't working very well. I wonder, or just they'll always kind of push the thing forward. Like people will be status quo. Things are good. They're fine. And the wanderer is kind of that one that kind of starts to poke things to be like, but is it really? Like maybe it could be better. Or what if we did it this way? And people sometimes are like, why are we trying to fix this? It's fine.
It's not broke. Don't fix it.
Right.
Moving on.
So the wanderer is kind of that one that that nudges things forward. If we didn't have wanderers, probably nothing would really change in the world.
No.
We'd just be like, whatever, it's fine. So then the next one is invention, and that's the idea person.
Yeah.
So that's the one that's coming up with the ideas to, if we're going in the flow, to solve what the wanderer perhaps is starting to question or come up with. And so I'm actually in a wonder invention combo.
Yeah.
So I'm head in the clouds all day long. We're just coming up with ideas. Like I'm questioning what I see, and then I'm coming up with ideas to make it better. I'm looking at that thing, and I'm questioning it, I'm wondering it, and then I'm dreaming up, But for others, they don't actually need to get into the invention idea phase. Like
If it's not their thing. Yeah.
invention's actually a frustration for you. So to sit there and think up new ideas, and you as well, doesn't bring you life.
No.
Correct.
So yeah, wonder and invention are both my frustration. So I cannot stand this section. And where it showed up for me before I had this language is sometimes at work you have a meeting and it's just a wonder meeting.
Like brainstorming.
Like brainstorming, whatever you want to call that. I'm like, this is physical torture to me. And so I'm in the Zoom call or I'm doing the thing and I'm so checked out. I'm so bored. I go, why couldn't this have been an email? Why do I need to, like, I have so many negative feelings about it because I just don't operate in that way. And so I don't know how to participate in it. And so I just check out. And then once I took this quiz and I found the language for it, I felt so much better because for me, a purpose of a meeting is outcomes. And so when we wouldn't, I would be already like making plans, then we'd move on. And I was like, I thought that was an idea and we were working on it, but now we're not. And so I just needed the preface of like, hey, we're just wondering right now. And as soon as I knew like what we were doing, I was like, oh, okay, great. And then I know that it's maybe not my thing. I might participate less than in the other meetings, but I'm no longer so frustrated because I understand the purpose and the outcome. And I know that I'm just like, I'm not actually that great at that, but I'll like listen. And if I have something, I'll pop in. But it transformed how annoyed I was in certain meetings, which was so helpful. But it's funny because I really like being at those meetings because the next one,
Yes.
the discernment part that's my number one.
Okay, so inventors, like they're just going to come up with as many ideas as possible. They just crank out the ideas. And in cranking out of a lot of ideas, some of them will be good and some of them won't be. Like that's just how it works.
We could even say some of them will be good and most of them won't be, depending on how many ideas you're pumping out.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So the inventor is just happy to come up with ideas. So they're not really concerned about, is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? It's just, but we need that. You need somebody that can just come invent, create, like come up with all these things, but we can't have it stay there, right? Like we need the next piece, which is discernment, to have somebody start picking through those ideas and being like, hey, it's this one. This is a really good idea. We should act on this. These ones, maybe not so much. These couple, maybe we wait till later. And it's very interesting because discernment isn't based on knowledge. It's based on mostly gut.
Yeah.
You just kind of can look at something and you know.
Yeah.
There's no real reason for you knowing.
Nope.
You can't be like, oh, yeah, I studied that in college or I did that. It's like, I just know.
What I know.
We need to do this.
So I love it because so many aspects of my personality are very gut driven. So it just fits right in with how I operate in so many ways that I already know about myself. But it is very frustrating when it's challenged for me, when I'm like, okay, this is the one we need to do. And I don't think this one's going to work. And then people, they're like, well, why? I go, I don't know. That's just the way it is. So this is what I'm looking at, and it's what I'm telling you. And so it has been very interesting to learn how to use that skill well, both professionally and personally, of being like, okay, like I can know nothing about what's happening, but I can tell you that I can tell you what to do about it. So just knowing how to do that well and with humility is tricky. But fun. I love it. So fun. So I like to be at those meetings once we start getting to the distill the idea down part.
Yes.
Then I'm like, please let me be there.
Like inventors and discerners work really well together. Like you really, if that's where you're at, really that is a combo you want to find.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's that place of like, hey, we don't just want ideas, we want to discern. And you can actually go back and forth with the inventor and the discerner and just kind of be bouncing things back and forth, where discerner will be like, yeah, I don't know if that's going to work quite right. And then the inventor person, well, what if we did it this way then? Like just continuing.
This is your workshopping station.
Totally.
Yeah.
So those people work really well together if they kind of know their role. And if the inventor needs to know, hey, this is how we massage the process, this is how we build the thing out, and not to be offended by like the discerners, like because sometimes it can feel like that there's like you don't like any of my ideas, like you think they're all bad.
Bring 30 ideas, you don't like any of them.
You know, and it's
Why?
like no, like I'm trying to do my best to discern what's going to go forward, and it's got nothing to do personally.
No.
Right? We're just trying to work through this process.
We're looking for the best outcome.
Yes.
And so this is how we're going to work together.
So I think once you can establish that in that relationship, it can become really cool.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you realize, oh, yeah, we can work together to do this. We're not fighting against each other, like trying to win with your idea, and you're just like kind of trying to strike it down.
Yeah. And so you want to wait for that process to be done.
Yes.
Before you bring in the next people.
Yeah, because the next people are quite powerful. So now if we're looking at our, like, we had the ideas up in the clouds, and now I would say the discernment is kind of bringing that down to the ground.
Yeah.
Where we're about to get boots on the ground and we're going to launch this sucker. Right. And so that's where the galvanizers come in. So the galvanizers are the ones that get the people in, they gather them, they get the excitement, they put the vision forth, they keep checking in on, hey, are we moving forward on this? Do we got this going? Like, and so you can see that if we give a galvanizer a bad idea,
it's happening.
Yeah, like
they brought the people.
They will still galvanize. Like galvanizers will galvanize, and so it doesn't matter what you've put in their hands. If it's a bad idea, if it's a good idea, they'll get the same job done. They will gather people to the idea, they'll execute it, and they'll start moving it forward, right? And that's why discernment is a really key piece in all of this, because we want to move the right ideas forward. 100%. It's not helpful just to move ideas forward.
No.
So that's that kind of piece there. And so galvanizing actually is Lee and I's frustration, one of our frustrations for sure. Both of us are very frustrated by that, which plays out in our life because we have a lot of really good ideas. We're pretty not bad. Both of us are competent in discernment.
Yeah.
So we can kind of discern if that's a good idea or not. We can see the world definitely where things need to get better. But the galvanizing piece is missing. So it's like, we have great idea, moving it forward, but I'm like, we can't get anyone on board, and the idea of like trying to motivate people or pump them up or get them like on board, to me, I'm like, I'll do it once. That's fun. But if I have to come back and repeat that, I'm like, we did this already. Like, why didn't you get it the first time? And I'll just get frustrated. And I'm like, well, that's not helpful at all.
No, but I love it. I love it. It's so fun. I have this like thing where I just believe I can if I try hard enough, I can convince anyone to do anything, and not in like a negative bad way, but I'm like, I really think I can, if I think it's going to be good for you,
right,
I think I can sell it to you. I really do. I'm not going to like sell you on things that are horrible for you. That's not what I want to do. But I'm like, man, even if you are absolutely against it, I'm like, give me a couple months. Give me a couple months to massage this idea. This is going to be really fun. So it's super fun for me. Like when you have a vision of what you think you want, what you want to, like the product you want to sell or the change you want to make or the thing you want to do, and you like see it benefiting people, if that's exciting to you, then just, I don't know, be a great networker, just feel
totally networker. You get people to buy in.
Yeah.
Like you display it, like this is
you
what
get people
it's about.
excited about it. It's so exciting. And then we bring it over to Lee for the next one.
Into my favorite.
Into your favorite.
Enablement.
Mm-hmm.
Although that one, like our previous podcast, we were talking about words like Lord, use me. Like enablement, I think, has some negative connotations. Like, it sounds like you're helping a drug user source their drugs. You're just enabling bad behavior.
But it's not that.
But it's not that.
What it is, it's enabling the person to do what they're called to do. You come in and you support them and you help them step into what needs to get done.
The thing that they've just been galvanized to.
Totally.
They go, I showed up here, now I don't know what to do.
We're galvanized, and now the work has to get done.
Yeah.
Right? We are full on, 100% boots on the ground now. It's time to execute. Mm-hmm. People have bought into the vision. We love the idea. We've come all the way down, but now it's like we gotta get it done. Mm-hmm. And so the enablers are the ones that come around and say, hey, how can I help you get this done? What do you need?
Yeah.
How can I support you? What's going on? Right? Like,
and this is like what I was saying earlier before we started rolling or recording with. I feel like I'm the guy behind the curtain. Like if we were running Cirque du Soleil, like I have no aspirations being out front, having my picture anywhere, people knowing who I am. I like to be backstage, operating some necessary equipment that if I wasn't there, like the whole show wouldn't take place, right? So for galvanizing, I would feel like if a circus was in town and you're the one that you just like, man, I want to just drum up, tell everybody about this amazing thing or whatever. And you're like, I need 1,000 posters printed or I needed some flyers to hand out, whatever. But you're just like, hey, that's not my jam. I like live to rise to the occasion, like that happy golden retriever. I'm like, I'll go get them. I'll run to Staples and like I could drive like an hour away to go to Staples and get these things printed. And I'm just like,
I love an enabler.
I'm just jazzed up because.
Well, it's almost like you're sitting there waiting for someone to be like, hey, this is what I need.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're not looking for something to do. You're like literally, okay, tell me what you need. And then I got you.
You give me a shopping list. You're like, hey, I'm on task with galvanizing or whatever, discerning, but it's super important. We really need like this list of items. You give me that list and say, hey, like go around town and go source all these things. I'm just pie in the sky, man.
I do think another part of enablement though, you're not just a taskmaster. Yeah. You don't just go around and check the boxes for people. That's for sure something. But I also think equipping is a huge part of it. So there could be a lot of that. So I think the galvanizing is a big picture from the stage kind of vision pitch, but then there's those moments where they're there and they're a part of something, but they don't see themselves in the vision. And so I think there's so much about enablers that are like, hey, like, what are you good at? What do you love to do? Hey, okay, let's get you doing that. What do you need to do that well? And then they're being like equipped and taken into the fullness of the role that they signed up for.
Yeah, that's totally true. Because when I worked at Focus on the Family Canada, we had a team building thing one day and everybody went around. It was almost like the 360 feedback. Like what are the, long story short, like at the end of it, you had your sheet of paper that everybody else wrote on.
Yeah.
And then you'd see the reoccurring words people used. And mine was basically like enabler or just encourager, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because I was known as the office butterfly. Like I would actually just kind of like get up every now and then and float around and go to the graphic designer. It's like, how you doing? What do you need? Whatever. Checking in on them. And yeah.
Nice. You're such a good coworker.
So enablement. And then that leads the widget. So ET, the last one.
The last one. The final part of landing this plane.
Yeah. So tenacity is the last one that's going to get that across the line. So these people love to finish. And not only finish, like to check a box, but to finish well.
Yeah.
Like, did we get this thing across the line, and is it accomplishing what it was created to accomplish? So they have a real passion for like, hey, we're going to get it done. We're going to make sure it's finished, but we're also going to make sure it's done really well, right? They're not satisfied with just like, oh, we shoved it through and it's done, go on to the next one. Like they're the ones that you want around to actually finish the project, right? They take it across that finish line. And this is one that like couples it can create a pretty big gap.
Yeah.
Right? Like anyone. Like, so if we look at this in a couple, like we've already talked about galvanizing for us, but we've seen in some areas it's like, hey, if both couples are, if tenacity is like their frustration, it could come down to simple things like bills aren't getting paid.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, it's just not, you're busy doing your other stuff. It is,
Oh, yeah, we got it. We'll do it later.
Yeah, totally. And so then, which you can see the shame cycle that could come with any one of these if it's your frustration or if there's a hole. Right? You just start thinking, oh, I'm a bad human. I should be able to do that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, and it's not an excuse like you're off the hook. You don't have to pay your bills if you don't have a working genius of tenacity.
Excuse me.
I like to say my husband, his number one is tenacity. I've never paid a bill.
There you go.
I don't even know how.
So see, it works out in your case. But if there happens to be a hole, nobody's off the hook.
No.
So it's one of those, okay, let's try to do most of our work in our geniuses. And then let's try to figure out ways that either we can, like if you're in a team, hopefully you can plug people in that have that.
Yeah.
But in a marriage, it's like, I don't know, you could hire an accountant to pay your bills. Or you just have to realize, okay,
how do we tackle
this is the 1 hour today where I am going to put on my tenacity hat and I don't like it, but I'm going to buck up and get it done.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I think that's for any of them. There are areas in our life. It's not like you don't get to just write stuff off.
I'm frustrated with this, so I'm never going to do it.
Right. Like for me, enablement and galvanizing are my two frustrations. So that doesn't mean I'm never going to serve people or support them. Like that's not okay. I can't be, I mean, I have shifted my career based on what I've learned because I realized, hey, that's not a great role for me.
Yeah.
Because, so I was doing nutrition coaching. And I actually took the Working Genius and learned about it. And I'm like, okay, I think if you're going to be a nutrition coach, you should probably have either galvanizing or enablement. I mean, as maybe one of those as a genius is going to help, at least as a competency. Those two are my frustrations.
Yeah.
So it was interesting because when I would approach people for nutrition counseling and coaching, I would just want to wonder and invent. So I wonder why you're struggling in this. And then I would invent a way for them to fix it. Like, here's what I think you should do. And I'd come up with a great invent, and here it is. And then when they come back and they haven't done it, I would just stare at them kind of blankly and be like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you're not going to do what I give you to do,
how can I help you?
Yeah, I don't know what you want from me, right?
Yeah.
But what they want from me is someone to help motivate them and to support them where they're at and to walk them through this, right? And I'm like, well, if you want me to motivate you and support you where you're at, I'm like, that's galvanizing and enablement, and I'm like, I'm not the best fit for this, right? And to realize, yeah, I'd just stare at them and go like, I don't understand why you didn't do this. Like, I don't know what your problem is. I figured it out. Why can't you figure it out? Like, I'm helping you figure out the best way to do this. Yeah. So just do the thing. And that's not ideal.
No.
So you're learning, okay, maybe that's not the best career path for me. And so I sat down with my boss and I was like, hey, I don't think I should be doing this. Like, here's why. And I think the people need like nutrition coaching. Usually there's more tied into that.
Yeah.
They need a lot of support and they need a lot of motivating. And I think that's great. I'm just not the one to do it. So, because I'll get frustrated. So
what's really interesting for us in this is that we have 5 out of the 6 in the geniuses, and then tenacity is the only one that's none of our genius, but it's in all of our competencies.
Right. So this is what you want to do in a team or in a, right? You want to look and see, do we have all 6?
Yeah.
And if we don't,
what do we do?
Yeah. Where's our hole? And at least then you could look to some people with some competencies and be like, okay, maybe you could help out in this. Yeah. But perhaps long term, it's like, hey, if we were going to bring someone else into this team, maybe I'm looking for someone who has tenacity.
Particularly
right? Or maybe I'm looking for that one person that has that thing I'm missing, because it's going to be a joy for them to do it.
Totally. And then if it's a marriage where you're like, well, it's you and I, we're figuring this out together anyway, at least it gives language to something. And I find things that you understand are way less frustrating. Yeah. So when hey, tenacity is not our thing, but we have to take things across the finish line. So let's come up with a strategy that doesn't rely on our willpower to do this. And then we're going to tackle it as a team. And then it's you guys against the problem. It's all the wonderful things when you do that. Totally. So,
and this is cool because you can actually begin to, like you said, use this as language. So Lee is such an incredible enabler. If I come up with a lot of ideas. So what we had in the past is an idea would come out of my mouth. And there's no, like, we haven't formed it or anything, but he thinks because he's an enabler, oh, I'm going to get that done. So he'll take that idea and run with it. And before I know it, I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, well, you said we're going to do this thing. I'm like, no, I was just like wondering.
We didn't discern
and I was
it.
just like, I was just wondering about that. And I was
Yeah.
just kind of inventing. And we didn't actually nail it down. But he's like so gung-ho and ready to be like, okay, give me the instructions, I'll go. And so now there's a little bit of that language where he's like, hey, is this something we're actually doing and I need to move on? Or are we just in that wonder invention phase? Like where we're, and then I can say, no, I'm just wondering, this isn't for real. Like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And before I lose this thought, like another reason I think this is so profound is that it's like a cheat code or shortcut to arriving at like being a well-oiled machine or couple. So the reason I thought of that is like whether it's in a marriage, a relationship, or a team, the people that stick around and stick through the hard times, like that spend, several years or whatever together, like the ones that are there at the other side of it will have naturally learned these things, I think, for the most part. But it's taken time and it's taken a lot of difficult conversations, a lot of, uncomfortable situations or whatever. But through that, like, let's say 5-year period, you're going to have a handful of people that are just like, I'm out. I'm not, like, you don't understand me or whatever. We're not, like, right? So there's going to be carnage or wreckage. But then the ones that do remain, it's going to take a while and they will get there. But with this equips you with the tools and the resources to almost like I said, a shortcut. Like you will shave off.
Superhighway.
You will shave off immense amount of time when you just now have language. Like one, you have, like Amy was saying, you have language to put to how you're acting and understand what's going on in a situation. So that, I mean, it's amazing.
It's important, no one has endorsed us.
Yeah.
No one is paying us
Yeah, no.
to talk about this. In fact, I've spent a lot of money on Working Genius assessments.
Totally.
I'm financially invested in. No one is paying us to say this. We really like it that much.
Yeah, it's legit.
Should
I
we-
think the other thing is it gives you permission to be bad at things,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like I think we live in a society where, we're supposed to be good at everything and we should excel at all things. And it's like, that's just not reality. Like nobody is good at everything. It doesn't work that way. And so to even be able to hear, oh, wow, I am wired like that. And that really does frustrate me. And I'm not good at it. It's almost like, I just feel like it's a big, deep exhale where you're like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. Like it's almost like it gives you permission to be like, okay, I'm not great at this. And that's okay.
It doesn't give you permission to not try,
No.
but to just not be eternally frustrated at why this is hard for you. You're
Beating
like,
yourself
just,
up, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm curious how much shame comes in for people just because they feel like they should be able to do that. Or they look at, like I could look at you and go like, I should be able to galvanize like that. Like it's so simple. Like watch her do it. Like, why am I not passionate? Why am I not
We're both pretty
excited?
extroverted. We like talking to people.
Totally.
I don't understand.
Why am I not doing
Yeah.
that? I'm a bad person. And then that's just where the accuser can come in and be like, well, because you don't love Jesus enough or get to, like whatever.
If you really loved people,
You would galvanize them. Like but it's like we're not all the same.
no. Lee like that. Look.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so that's Working Genius.
We don't. This is 2 parts,
This is 2 parts,
but we're
okay.
like almost at the end of our season. So I don't know if this launches to the. I don't know now.
I don't even know what to do with it all.
All right, but I don't think we have time to go all the
We
way
can't fit this in.
Well, we
The
can
other
allude into, we'll open the door for the next. So with Working Genius,
Yes.
and how I said, we don't operate in a vacuum. We're created for community. The Bible teaches that. We're the body of Christ. And so it goes without saying this podcast is all, it's Jesus, right? Like is the focus to know God.
Yeah.
So we are, if we're called to work together to glorify God, and that we're created differently and we all bring different aspects to that whole goal, right? And vision to know him and make him known, right? Make him known. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, there's our mission. There's our sports team. Like, score goals, make him known. It's like, how do we work together to best do that? And, you know, I always laugh because, like, I think Navy SEALs are still riding the high of, like, everybody loves the Navy SEAL books and the stories. So, like, oh, SEAL teams, right?
Yeah.
And
Teams operating at the highest level.
yeah. So, you know, it's like that is the gold standard in a lot of people's minds of like, here's a group of people with a mission and a task to perform who have trained together and they all have different roles. They work together with like seamless, like they don't even speak anything. They just look, you know? And so it's like, okay.
They just hand you what you need without you asking
That's
for
right.
it.
What do groups of Christians working together with different gifts, what does that look like played out to make God known, right? In all the different various things. So perhaps in our next episode, there is something similar to Working Genius.
If we do an extra one in the season, I don't know what to do now.
I think we have to.
Ooh.
14 piece
14
season?
episode. Yeah.
Why
Or
not?
we just scrap Sacred Silly, get rid of it.
Okay, we
Yeah,
could
we
end on.
could.
We could end
Yeah.
on this.
All right.
But
fair.
there's
It feels too
basically-
important. I'm
I
so
know,
excited
okay,
about
okay.
it.
But Working Genius,
Next
like
podcast
we'll keep banging the Working
Recently,
Genius drum
on the
of
Cultivate
its
Connection
profound.
podcast.
Oh my gosh.
You know how they do that in the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, like, just let me speak.
I know, I can't.
Okay.
I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
Okay. Where does that fit in the wonder invention?
Interrupting? That's just
Interrupting.
a personality quirk.
Yeah.
That's a bonus. It's a bonus skill.
That's right.
Yeah.
The 7th widget.
Interrupting.
But basically there's so in the Working Genius, a fully formed functioning team with no gaps hits all of those. A wanderer, an inventor, a discerner, a galvanizer, an enabler, and tenacity, right? Like, so you
So you
hit,
can see how you can take it from the beginning all the way through.
you
to the
hit them
end.
all.
Yep.
So then it opens the door to, you like all my hand expressions? It opens the door to,
Or
there are different spiritual gifts. So some people are called to be teachers. Like, I don't know the scripture offhand. I should have
Fivefold
memorized it.
ministry,
Yeah, the
yes.
fivefold ministry.
We'll
Some
memorize it
people
for the
are.
next
Ephesians
one.
11.
Is it?
It's Ephesians 11.
There you
She
go.
knows.
Some people are called. Do you know it by heart, the verse?
Nope.
Okay,
But I know that that's where you find the list.
sure. It's like
Pastors,
some people
evangelists,
are called
teachers,
to be the
Apostles,
different
Apostles.
things.
and what are we missing?
prophets.
Prophets.
Mm-hmm.
The fivefold APEST. That's fivefold ministries.
So then it's like, okay, so if there are different gifts in the body of Christ with our spiritual giftings, right? How do those work together? And then also, like how Amy was saying, with how much shame comes from maybe somebody who's called to be, let's say, an evangelist, and they're looking at somebody else who's a teacher, and they're just like, oh, you know, like, shame on me or whatever because I'm not like that person. It's like, no, you're not created to be like that person. You're created to work together with that person to bring about, to accomplish the mission.
And then I really think if you can layer on that spiritual gifting in your Working Geniuses, I think the world would explode. If we all did that, it couldn't handle it.
Are you people ready to start building your teams?
Are you ready?
Here we go to get on mission.
And as corny as it sounds, with the Navy SEAL thing, like, I believe this and I so want to see it come true in my lifetime that the outside world, non-Christians especially, will look at groups of Christians operating together in teams, like of different backgrounds and different gifts, and look and be like, there's something unique and special about them.
Amen.
There's like, I can't explain it. And what they're really seeing is they're just seeing like the mark of God on each of their lives of coming together in the fullest expression of a group of people. Like, I think that should glorify God.
Well, I think it's so you can have a group of people together, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're a team because we're learning or we have learned. Like a
You have-
team,
You get lots of groups.
Ah,
Tons of
good
groups.
point. Good
Tons of
point.
groups.
A social club.
yes, we
What's
can have
the
a lot of
difference
people
between
gathering,
that
but
and-
what is a team? And a team is marked by results.
Good
So
point.
The
Good
only way you
point.
can measure the effectiveness of a team is that they actually have to be moving towards creating results. And then you need, well, obviously you need to decide what are those results that you're going
What
after.
are we all chasing after together?
Right. And
Yeah.
so I think often in the church, we might not have this team mentality. We just we show up, we do our thing. Yeah, but what are the results? Like, what are we,
What's our
why do we
goal? What are we
exist?
doing?
Why are
Yeah.
we here? And you could have pockets of people. What I would love to see is teams within a church that know, hey, we are called to do this and we are going to work together and the results are going to be A, B, and C. This is what we're going after, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could we be a little bit more strategic in the realm of building the church?
Wow.
So that people would look at true teams of functioning Christian people and
Yes.
say, something is different about that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.